We're going to start this project out by creating a new Unity project and changing it to make it a 2D project. And then making sure that we save it to the desktop. I'm going to title this project Side Scroller. And then I'm going to open up in my downloads the files that I've already downloaded from Google Classroom, and I'm going to click and drag these into the project window. Once I've dragged them in the project window, I want to start by creating a folder in the project window and labeling this as sprites. And then I'm going to move all these sprites into that sprite folder just to have some organization. Double clicking on the sprites, I'm going to click on the bird sprite, and I'm going to come over to the inspector, and where it says single, I'm going to do that, drop that down until it says multiple, click apply, and then I'm going to click on the sprite editor and come up here to where it says slice, and then we're going to apply that. But what you want to do first is look at it and make sure that the bounding box, those little green box that you see around each bird, fits completely around the bird. Otherwise, you can resize those boxes if needed. But once you click apply, so there's a second way to do this, and that's if you use a different type of sprite. And so I'm just going to drag in a couple different sprites here to kind of show you what I was doing or how to do this differently. So coming in here, I've got these sprite sheets that we can use. And I'm going to click on this first sprite sheet and go into the inspector. And just like I did with the bird, I'm going to change multiple and apply it. And then go to the sprite editor and open the sprite editor up to slice and slice. See the bounding boxes around it. And then go ahead and click apply. So that first one's done. I can close out of that and then go ahead and this one, open it up. Again, change to multiple, apply, sprite editor. So here I've got one that's dead, one that's idle, and one that is going to be the move animation. So this is going to be similar to how we did the robot assignment and all the animations that we did with that assignment. So almost done here, slice. So just wanted to show you a little bit about how you can go ahead and use a different type of sprite for this assignment and not just those 3 sprites. You can create more of an animation. So going back to the bird sprite, and you'll see that you have 3 different birds based on the different sprites. We're going to drag bird hero 0 into our hierarchy. And then we're going to click on bird hero 0. We're going to name this bird hero to player. We're going to come over to the X position and make this a -4. So it moves it back. Then I'm going to click and drag my ground sprite in. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. And I don't want to change the size of this ground at all. So I'm going to come down and make sure it fits in my game. Looking at my game screen here. I'm going to click on my main camera. And then I'm going to go to size. And I'm going to make just a tad smaller than the ground. And then I'm going to move the ground down to where it fills up the bottom of the screen or fits to the bottom of the screen. And then I'm going to drag in my sky sprite. And so renaming the ground sprite to ground. Rename the sky sprite to background. I'm now going to work on resizing this background so that it fits with the ground. And it should match up pretty well. I'm going to have to zoom in just to do some of this. Make background a child of ground. And I'm going to add sorting layers. We're going to create 3 new sorting layers. The first one will be background. The second one is midground. And the last one is going to be foreground. And I'm going to come back and click on a player and make the player foreground. Ground will become foreground also. And then the background becomes the background. Once we have that all done, we're going to come up to save and save project. Coming into our scenes, I'm going to click on the sample scene here. I'm going to call this main.